वहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। In our effort to understand Rudram and Chamakam, we have gone through we are in the 10th Anuvaka. We have gone through 9 Anuvakas. Rudradhyayana, the ability to chant and invoke Bhagwan Lord Shiva's blessings through the Rudra Pathana, is considered as one of the most sacred, one of the most important chants. So important that, no, we know that. It is so important and so well accepted that it is one chant that all the 4 ashramas are allowed to chant. Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and also the sannyasi can chant these mantras. With this Rudradhyayana, when regularly practiced with performing the Rudrabhisheka every single day to that Lord Shiva in various forms, specifically in the form of the Shiva Linga, when performed every single day, it cleanses the individual, the seeker, from the physical level all the way up to the spiritual level. It channelizes the entire energy at the prana level, and it invokes the final culmination Narayana. It is named as alarm for a reason, that everybody gets alarmed. Okay. That the prana shakti is channelized in such a way that all the impurities that are possible, they are flushed out of the system. I'm talking of the nadi shodhana, that the nadis clean up. And such a purified one, when sits on the seat of meditation, can easily glide through easily glide through into that dhyana ekagrata, that oneness with the one that is being meditated upon. At that time, when one is meditating upon, if one understands the meaning and the depth of what is being chanted as a grasp of the entirety of this mantra, and this mantra has 11 anuvakas in the Rudra and 11 anuvakas in the Chamaka. When these are learnt with the meaning and meditated upon, one can, like in the Upanishadic language, it is said that Bhidyate Hridaya Granthi Chidyante Sarva Samshayaha, that all the knots in the, not in the physical heart, from the psychological to the spiritual level, whatever knots that are there. So, in a way, the Jiva who has created all these knots can be called as the naughty one. He is the one who has embedded himself with all these knots around. In a very simple way, we are attached to these conditionings, and these conditionings are so strong and overwhelming that our buddhi, along with the jnana, viveka, it also requires the strength, to stay steadfast in the path. And this chanting, as it parallelly cleans and aligns the entire system, it also provides that strength, because this is also a great upasana. And that upasana bala, with which the intellect has gathered the strength and the courage, it can stay steadfast in the path. Meaning, any kind of deviation, variations, any kind of stumbling blocks that come along, to fall is natural. And it will happen. Nobody has learned to start walking without a fall. Nobody has learned cycling without a fall. Nobody has learned swimming without fear of water, fear of sinking. The initial glitches will be there. But how soon can we get back on track without losing focus, without feeling disheartened, without feeling disenchanted with the path? Sometimes there are people that talk about various experiences. These experiences can be very much a distraction on the path. Like you're going from point A to point B being your destination, and you have visualized to reach there at a certain time. You have taken a stopover. The stopover is meant for rest and rejuvenation. But if that stopover, the place is so beautiful, and you get enchanted by it, and forget about reaching the destination, then that is a distraction in itself. Many a seekers who start and have these experiences, we find that they are in that siddhi, various siddhis that they experience, and it can become a new conditionings that they have knotted themselves in. So one of the prayers, one of the prayers to the Lord and to the Sadguru is, whatever has to happen will happen, but protect me from such siddhis. So much so that when Sitaji is pleased with Hanumanji for all his service. And then she says, Ashta Siddhi Navanidhi ke Data. You are someone who not only has the power to hold on to that Ashta Siddhi and Navanidhi, but you can also grant them as a boon to your devotees. Now, Hanumanji didn't look very pleased. Mother, I have put a lot of effort in transcending all those and coming here. And then you say you have them in plenty. Nah, I'm not something interested in that. Realizing that, she says that may your devotion and may your service to Lord Rama be for Chirakala. Then he is very happy. The point is, it should become a stepping stone to reach there. And even if we have not experienced those things, it does not mean that we are not on the path. There are so many other indications that we can find. How steadfast are we with our discipline? How easily are we not distracted by the distractions that come along in the world of samsara? If anger, jealousy, and such ill feelings come, how I can uproot myself, distance myself from it, and watch it as it passes by. All these are certain strengths that can be developed by implicit chanting and offering this and understanding the meaning and meditating upon these mantras for a long period of time. And that change slowly one starts experiencing within oneself. In order to help, in order to understand, we have been looking in through the mantras. We have reached to the 10th canto, not 10th canto, 10th Anuvaka. And in that 10th Anuvaka, we are in the 8th mantra. So the 10th Anuvaka, I'll read through the first 7 mantras. If you have a copy, follow along. द्रापे अन्धसस्पते दरिद्रन्नीललोहिता येषां पुरुषाणामेषां पशूनां मा भेर्मो येषां किञ्चना ममत या ते रुद्र शिवा तनु शिवा विश्वाह भेषजी शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजी तया नो मृडजीवसे इमागं रुद्राय तवसे कपर्दिने क्षयद्वीराय प्रभरामहे मतिम् यथा नश्यमसद्विपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरम् मृडानो रुद्रोतनो मयस्कृतिक्षयद्वीराय नमसा विधेमते यच्छञ्च योश्च मनुरायजे पिता तदस्याम तव रुद्रप्रणीतौ मानो महान्तमुतमानो अर्भकम् मान उक्षन्तमुतमान उक्षितम् मानो वधीः पितरं मोतमातरं प्रियामानस्तनुवो रुद्ररीरिषः मानस्तोके तनये मान आयुषिमानो गोषुमानो अश्वेषुरीरिषः वीरान्मानो रुद्रभामितो वदीर्हविष्मन्तो नमसा विधेमते आरात्ते गोघ्न उत पूरुषग्ने क्षयद्वीराय सुम्नमस्मे ते अस्तु रक्षा च नो अधि च देव ब्रूह्यदा च नः शर्म यच्छद्विबर्हाः. Now we have to learn the or look into the meaning of this eighth mantra. Please repeat after me. Stuhi shrutam garta sadam yuvanam mruganna bhimam mugram mृडाजरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन्निवपन्तु सेनाः स्तुहि श्रुतं गर्तसदं युवानं मृगन्न भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रम्. Now for this particular mantra, there is a dhyana shloka. Bhatta Bhaskara ji has, with his revelations and meditations, has given us this beautiful dhyana shlokas which were revealed to him. For this eighth mantra, this is the dhyana shloka. Udyad bhaskara koti prakasham akashagam bhimam bhitignam bhayavaradam dhyayet rudram surognanutam. Udyad bhaskara koti prakasham akashagam bhimam bhitignam abhaya varadam dhyayet rudram suraghna nutam. Dhyayet, may we meditate upon this Lord Rudra, who is Udyad Bhaskara Koti Prakasham. Now, this is one description that is common for all forms of God. Like even in Meenakshi Pancharatna Stotram, the very first line is Udyad Bhanu Sahasra Koti Sadrisham Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha. The various examples that can be taken wherein all gods are described, all deities are described as glowing like millions of suns put together. And it is not that glow which is glaring, but it is Udyad Bhaskara. Bhaskara Timirapaha, the one who removes the ignorance. Bha meaning light, effulgence. Karoti Yahasaha, the one who gives that light, dispelling all darkness. And the Bhaskara, right at that beginning. And the best part of Bhaskara is, even before he arrives, as they call that as his Usha Kirana. Even before Bhaskara arrives, his Kirana, it's in itself sufficient to remove all the darkness. And as the darkness has gone and that tender sun is rising, thousands of them, millions of them, with that kind of glow, radiating millions of suns. Koti Prakasham, Akashagam, the one who pervades all aspects starting from the space, the one who is all pervasive. Bhimam, Bhimam, the one who is very fearsome in form. Though he is fearsome, what does his presence do? Bhitignam, removes all fears. See, the evolution of the seeker, that earlier it was like Bhima Swarupam, that, oh Lord, you are in the very terrible form and I am Bhitaha. You are Bhima Swarupam and I am Bhita Swarupam. That I am scared of your form. But now the evolution has happened that the devotee now who understands, the seeker now understands that he has taken that fearful form not because he is angry with me, but he has taken that form to protect me. That his presence is sufficient to remove all fears from my heart. See, when in life we go through some situations, at that moment, we have somebody who gives us that solace, or we, it can be friend, it can be husband, it can be wife, and you just sit in their presence. Even their presence is sufficient to remove us from all such fears. Now that you are there, we'll find a solution. I was scared up until this point. Now imagine if a human can do that to us, bring us that relief, that all pervasive Bhagwan, when he is present, what happens? Bhitignam. All fears are removed, all limitations are removed. Abhaya Varadam. Bhitignam, the one who blesses us with fearlessness, and the one who gives all kinds of boons that help. And what is the greatest boon that the Lord can bestow upon us? The Sukha of Atma Sakshatkara. That is the greatest Vara that He can give. Varadam. Varadam, the one who is truly capable of giving that as a blessing. Varadam. Suraughna Nutam, the one who is praised by all gods. With this Dhyana Swarupa, when we chant the 8th mantra, the results are one gains Purascharana Siddhi. Next time you have a long weekend, 3 nights, 3 days kind of weekend, then we can spend those 3 days not in vacationing. Go to that secluded spot, disconnect oneself from all distractions of cell phone, media, laptop, phone, mail, email, whatever, all distractions removed. With 3 days of fasting, just living on water, chanting this mantra with this dhyana shloka, it gives the Purascharana Siddhi of any mantra that you have been chanting, that you have been initiated with. And another beautiful benefit of this particular mantra is it removes all kinds of vikara from inside. Shad vikara, shad ripu, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara, and its various transforming forms. Not that it transforms us, it transforms itself to create a lot of confusion. It removes all those inner enemies. Who is the Rishi for this mantra? Vyaghra. See, there are various ganas, and just because they look deformed, don't take them for granted. There are lots of them around him. Vyaghra Pada, the one who has human body, but his legs are like a tiger. Strange combination. All these ganas, Bhagavan Shiva has gathered them. Good. Why? If they were left in the society, either they become bullied or people will be scared of their presence. So he gathered all these people with deformities and he has changed them, transformed them. That each one is a Mahasiddha Purusha. So that Vyaghrapada is the Rishi, Chanda is Trishtup, and the Devata worshipped or invoked is Rudra Devata. Now getting into the mantra itself. Stuhi shrutam garta sadam yuvanam mriganna bhimam upahatnumugram mridajaritre rudrastavano anyante asmannivapantu senaah. The chanda is representing the mantra. Stuhi shrutam. Stuhi. There's a beautiful transformation in the seeker by this mantra. He is now ordering his own mind. He's saying, "O mind, praise the Lord." In Sadashiva Brahmendra Kritis, he often advises his own mind. Like, Manasa Sancharare. Hey Manasa Sancharare. Or sometimes he talks to his own Jihva. Pibare Rama Rasam. Rasane Pibare Rama Rasam. Why are you running after the unnecessary rasas of this world? They bring in toxins, though they give you a kick for a while, but the effect or the impact, negative effect or impact is long lasting. Instead, drown yourself in Rama Rasa, meaning Rama Nama Sankirtana. So similarly here, the mantra is very beautiful. He is not scared anymore. He is not scared of the Lord. He is not scared of his own mind and all the various emotions and various kinds of thoughts that come around. Seems to have transcended them all one by one. To such a freedom inside that now he can command the mind. O mind, praise the Lord. Shrutam. Shrutam, that Lord who is revealed through the Shruti Mata, through the scriptures. Praise that Lord who is praised or who is referred by the Shruti. I keep chanting. I don't know if he is hearing it or not. I don't know only. I don't know if he is hearing it. If my prayers are being heard. Don't worry about that. Why? Garta sadam. He is right in the cavity of our own heart. He is right in our own spiritual heart. Yuvanam. Yuvanam. Eternally young. Sometimes he has taken an avatar of being an old person, but otherwise he is eternally young. Like there is a story of him coming to dissuade Parvati ji, Himaputri, because she was doing terrible penance, like, that her mother was scared for her. So Bhagavan Shiva, who comes to test her, comes in a Vruddha Brahmana Rupa. He has taken such avatars. But then, he stays eternally young. Yuvanam. Mrugam na. Mrugam na. He is like the lion when Bhimam, when he is taking the form of frightening strength, he looks like a fierce lion. Have you ever seen a lion roar? I'm not talking it in the TV or in the Lion King cartoon. If it is in the zoo or in the circus, have you ever seen a lion roar from a quick distance? I'll not tell you why I had to hear the lion roar, but I was probably 3 to 4 feet away. Lucky that it was in the cage. When it roars and all that liquid falls on, I could smell that stench later. At that moment, I think my every other sensory perception was blinded, shut off. All that would reverberate in my head is that roaring sound, and it can create tremble. Bhagwan, he is in that roaring form of a lion when he takes that frightening form with full strength. Bhimam. Upahatnum, destroyer of all wrong, evil doers. Upahatnum. Ugram. Ugram can be translated as terrible, angry, but Ugra Rupa has another meaning, that it also has the meaning of the unconquerable or inconquerable. Which one of the, is it unconquerable or inconquerable? Inconquerable? Okay. Inconquerable. Ugram. Mrida. Mrida, bless us with happiness. Bless us. Who is us? Jaritre. Jaritre, the one who is in this body which is constantly aging. Jara. Jara, it is not the Urdu word. Urdu word is Jara, means little. Here Jara means old age. So that body which is constantly aging. Jaritre. Now sometimes they have also read the meaning as Jaritre is the one who is most ancient one. In whichever environment where we compare, he would always stand as the most ancient one. Jaritre. Here I would take the first meaning as Jaritre, us, make, bless us with happiness, who are in this constantly decaying body. Hey Rudra, Stavanaha, praised by us all devotees. Anyam, any other. Now here I'll tell you while I'm going through the meaning. Te, your, asmat, other, any other than us, Nivapantu, may they be destroyed. Senaha, te senaha, your armies. O mind, instead of wasting your time in other worldly pursuits, focus and praise on that Lord who is revealed by the scriptures. Praise that eternally young Lord who abides in our own hearts. Praise that Lord who destroys the wrongdoers, who is strong, frightening, inconquerable like the lion. O Lord, we praise your praises. Bless us with mrida, happiness. Bound that we are with this aging body, May your armies, internally or externally, may they be of blessings to us. Anything that deviates us from you, may you be that fearsome form, destroying all those obstacles. हे मदीय अंतरात्मन stuhi. Now, when we order our mind, do this, what does the mind do? Exactly opposite of what we have ordered it to do. And when we are ordered not to do something, what does the mind do? It does exactly what we have been told not to do. So once, wearing these clothes, there are all kinds of people that come. So once Gurudev was explaining that he had this person, he came to Gurudev and said, I understand and agree with all Vedanta that you are talking. But my only source of misery is that I am going bald. No, I'm not talking of my personal story here. What, yeah. I'm not talking of my personal story. There's Gurudev, somebody came. So Gurudev said, looking at him, come tomorrow early in the morning. I'll give you a mantra with which you can control the growth of your hair. So the person came next day morning, and Gurudev in all seriousness gave a mantra and said, chant this mantra, meditate on the meaning of this mantra, and do it for next 41 days. But I have to warn you. I have to warn you that while you are meditating on this mantra, that you should never ever think about a red flying monkey. So this person went back very happy. And sometime later he met Gurudev in a different situation. Hey, what happened? Did you stop using the mantra? Because I don't see any hair. I in fact see you have lost more of real estate. What happened? And you never came back. Before I met you, I had only one problem. After meeting you, now I have two problems. It is not just while doing the mantra. Any time that I sit, my mind only thinks of that red flying monkey. The moment the mind is given an instruction, hey, do not do this, it's like a teenager inside our head. Why not? And you tell them to do something, why? And with these two questions, why and why not, we assume that we have gotten lot of intelligence acquired. And why not are the most two stupidest questions that anybody can ask. And the mind repeats its stupidity again and again, along with its overwhelming patterns, overwhelming emotions, overwhelming knots that it has gotten created, conditioned into. Now, this seeker has now gathered enough strength to look past all this, grow out of all this, and then instruct that mind, meaning having cleared out all these patterns, having enriched that mind, given it the upasana bala, now is instructing the mind. You will focus and chant the name of the Lord. Isn't that an amazing capacity? That's it. Chant. And it keeps chanting. Stuhi Shrutam. Instead of complaining, instead of saying that, my mind is bad, what can I do with such an incapacitated mind? Or even worse, Swamiji, I have such restlessness in my mind. I don't know what is wrong with me. Congratulations. You're still alive and you have a functional mind. It's only that we have to train that mind, discipline that mind. And the seeker has painstakingly put that effort to discipline that mind so that now he can use it and direct that mind with courage, discipline, commanding its mind to do the sadhana. He Madiya Antaratman, Stuhi. Stuhi, chant. Praise the Lord. What is it? We'll come again, right, when I'm explaining. A word meaning of mruganna. Mrugam na. Na there means like. Mrugam, like a roaring lion. What was the other word? May destroy. You may destroy. Nivapantu. Now, while practicing, many a times, we undergo a lot of disparity. We become despondent, desperate. I've been doing this for a while. I don't know if the Lord is really listening to my prayers. Does it really matter to Him if I'm praying or not? Does it even reach to Him? See, how should the upasana be done? The upasana be done not as a distant process wherein the Lord is somewhere else, and I am trying to send this message, trying to send this prayer unto Him. In fact, we have seen this right in the beginning when we did the Laghunyasa, that the invocation is right in the heart. And that is why the very first step in puja, before even we start, we request that Lord from our heart to come and seat in that pratima, that murti. Though it is just stone or metal, but in that stone or metal, I am invoking that divinity who is right in my heart. After the Udvasana, after the last step, where are we taking that Lord again? Back into our heart. So wherever I am going, whatever I am doing, however I am interacting with this world, who is the first witness for this? It is the Lord who is seated right in our own heart. So what is the prayer? Prayer is connecting to that core within. That is called prayer. Because in that core is seated that divine, that Lord Himself. Garta Sadam. Garta Sadam. Hrudayabhyantaram Gartam. The one who is seated in the spiritual heart. Not the one which is pumping the blood, but in the spiritual heart. Right above the solar plexus. Solar plexus or solar plex? Plexus. So right above that, right where the rib cage parts, that is where is the spiritual heart. Anahata Chakra. There, right in that middle, he is seated as Angushta Matra Purushaha. as a throbbing seat of existential reality. So, to that core within, I am praying. You call that core as a him or a her, or Brahman, it. Vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam. However you use your vak to recognize or to tag that Parabrahma Paramatma within, to connect to that core, because he is seated right within. So never find it as desperate. Oh my God, I did not go to temple today. Oh my God, he's right here. Say hi to him. Close your eyes, stop doing everything, and then right within the heart. No, when I say stop doing everything, if you're driving a car, please drive a car. If you're carrying hot bucket of water, please carry that water. At that point, that suddenly I'm now connecting to my core within. That's why I say ekante rahasisthitaha. Find a secluded spot wherein you are not a nuisance to anyone and the world is not a nuisance to you. In that ekanta, connect to that core within. And then while continuing with the life, constantly keep communicating, constantly keep in touch with that core within. Because he is Hridayabhyantaram Gartam, the one who is seated as the core in the heart. Another meaning of Garta Sadam is Rathanam Tatra Sidati Tishtati Iti, the one who was seated in the chariot. Garta, movement. Garta Sadam, the one who was seated in that movement, the one who was seated in that chariot. Specifically talking about that Shiva who had shot all the three cities, Tripura, with one arrow, seated on that fast moving chariot. Garta Sadam. Tripura Dahadau iti. While the Tripura was being burnt, he was riding a chariot to that Lord. Where else can you find this Lord if not on a chariot? What can be the other meaning of Garta Sadam? Giryate Agnina Bhakshyante Prajaha Atra iti Garte Smashane iti. Where is the Lord? You can find him easily in Smashana. So he is a Smashana Vasi. See, Lord Vishnu requires a very elaborate decor for his presence. Very beautifully ornate environment that he requires. Whereas Lord Shiva, where is he? This is Garte, that which is being burnt, eaten up, Bhakshante. Prajaha Atreti. Atra iti. All the bodies that have been left by that Jiva finally burns and he is seated right there. Even being more specific, Bhatta Bhaskaraji says, Smashane Kashyam Pura. In Kashi Puri, he is seated. And this is one reason why, rain or shine, winter or summer, whenever I go to Kashi Nagari, one place that I don't forget to visit along with Kashi Vishwanath is Manikarnika. There is the Manikarnika Ghat. There's so many sadhus, so many avadhutas, so many aghoris, all three different kinds. All of them come there to meditate. because the promise was Kashi Marata, Mukti Karata. Those who die in Kashi taking the name of the Lord, Bhagwan directly, personally takes that individual to that higher world. And that Manikarnika is what 11 or 12 storied smashana, where there's constantly there has been bodies burnt. The last time I was there, that whose family is been taking care of that Manikarnika Ghat, the one who takes care of all the pyres that they are burning, their family, for centuries, not just 1 or 2 generations, for centuries, that their family has been dedicated in taking care of that Manikarnika Ghat. So he says, even in the most flooded, because it's right on the banks of Gangaji, even when it is the most flooded, Manikarnika Ghat at least has 3 stories where the bodies are still being burnt. Even if there is a worse thunderstorm, there are at least 3 stories where there is constantly this Dahana Samskara is being done. It is there in that Manikarnika. Bhagwan is waiting. Therefore, we find as a tradition, as a practice, whether north or south, very aged people would want to come and spend their last dying moments in Kashi. They're so old. I mean, I really praise those children who are carrying them in palanquin and take them to a ashram setup and make sure that there is somebody to take care of them, somebody to feed them. And they take it very seriously. That my parent died there, had their last breath in Kashi, and we were there to serve them. So Garta Sadam can also mean Kashi Puri. Smashana one meaning, Kashi Nagari is the other meaning. Guhahitam Gahvareshtam for the rest of us would be the best meaning. He is right here in the Hridaya Guha. Hridayabhyantaram, the one who is seated in the spiritual heart. And you can invoke, connect with him right here. So don't need to find that kind of a desperate moment wherein, I don't know, I've been praying, I don't know if the Lord even listening. He's right here. Everything that we do, everything that we say, everything that we interact, the slightest change in our intentions and intensities, he's observing. With a pure mind, when we are sitting to chant, when we are with a pure mind sitting to meditate, do you think he is not catching that? He's definitely catching it because he is so close, sannihita. Though the one who is the jiva is deteriorates and passes from one body to the other, but the one who is eternal observer, yuva, the one who is constantly in youthful stage. That is unborn, is not like a baby, or he's been for so many. He's the most ancient one, so he's old, dilapidated, energyless. No. He is ever youthful. He is more green than the evergreen. He is eternally young. That is why wherever these gods are portrayed, even though they have lived that many years, that can be one reason of confusion, that when Bhagwan Krishna's form is seen, though he lived for 125 years, though on the battlefield he was about 89 years, when people have had darshan of that Lord even on the battlefield, giving the message of Bhagavad Gita. He is not shown like a 80-year-old sagging and all the dharma kshetra, kurukshetra, samaveta, yuchavaha, mamakaha, pandavaha. No, he is in his youthful charm. Always, he appears like somebody who is in the prime of youth, 16 to 18 years age. That's how he appears. No deterioration at all. Even when the avatara is taking, he is taking an avatara. Somebody gave a very beautiful meaning. What does an avatara mean? For the rest of us, there has to be a material cause in which the jiva can live in. For him, all this matter envelopment that we assume is matter is not matter, but it is pure Chaitanya Swarupa. That even the body is that Chaitanya Swarupa alone. That he is not having any blemish of matter anywhere around. Therefore, he is constantly in that youthful stage. Yuvanam. Because he is the substratum and everything else changes. Mruganna. I have seen through 6 or 7 different commentaries. Here, they are not talking about Mrugamna. Meaning he is not terrifying like a ferocious lion. That can be one meaning, right? Na Mrugam iti. All of them say that Mrugam na means like a ferocious lion. So this particular line, Stohi Shrudam Gartasadam Yuvanam Mrugan Nabhima Upahatnam Ugram, that first sentence, you will find it reflecting also in Mahanarayana Upanishad. Where he is describing Lord Nrsimha. And Adi Shankaracharya ji giving a commentary on this particular sentence in that Upanishad, he says, Mrugam na, meaning he may be terrifying, he may be ferocious looking, but he has taken that form as an avatar to protect. Therefore, that terrifying form is not for you, to scare all that away that may harm you. Therefore, Mrugam na. He is not ferocious for the devotee. Mrugam na. Say that again. There also he is talking about Nrsimha. When that's, and many of the commentators, when they talk about Mruganna, they say that it is Mrugam na, meaning like the Mruga, like the ferocious lion, always fending. And that is the form that the Lord constantly is. And Bhimam, all these 3 words go together. Mrugam, Bhimam, Ugram. Mrugam, the ferocious lion. Bhima, strong and yet very frightening strong. Ugram, it is defined as inconquerable, that which cannot be won over. Now, why does he take that Ugra form? Upahattu, Upahatnum, to destroy all the wrongdoers. And then he says, O Lord, hey Rudra, Stavanaha, praised by us all, because before we realize, the body is aging quicker than what we thought. We thought we had time. I could revel in other things. What is wrong? What is wrong in, the world is offering so much of joys that I can enjoy. I thought I can go indulge in all of them and then come back leisurely and come back and meditate and take surrender. But before I realized, somebody called me uncle today. I thought I was still looking youthful. Somebody called me uncle today. Pretty soon, from uncle, you will be called Dadaji. Those two experiences of my life, meaning somebody has already called me both. Those two experiences of my life are like etched in my memory. Cannot forget. When I joined the ashram, I was 17. So this was in the second year, I must have been 18. So a clean shaven head with a choti, a tuft. Had gone to some school to deliver some lecture and coming back. It was packed Bombay train. And I was lost in my own thought. In the backdrop, there was this group of kids, and one of the kids was loudly asking, "Hey uncle, time kya hua? Uncle, what is time?" I'm like, oh, poor fellow is asking, and this uncle is not answering. And what that kid said, I had to suddenly just shift and see. It was a very sassy statement that he made. And he said, टाइम देखने को नहीं आता, वॉच लगा के घूमते रहते. Like, they cannot see time or tell time, but for style they have to carry a watch. For a little kid to make such a statement, I thought, who is that kid? And he was looking straight at me. And he was shaking his head. Time देखने नहीं आता क्या? It's like, man, you have given me 2 heart attacks in one sentence. You put me in the category of a village idiot who does not know how to read time, and also called me an uncle. Gulped down my ego and then gave him the time. And the second one was, I was in a bus traveling, in South India. These days they have a sleeper, like you can actually sleep like in train. So I had the upper, so that I can put my legs out. How much can be the length of it? So I take the upper berth. So this lady comes with a kid and luggage, and I could see through the window that she had more luggage down there, and she had to go grab that. She was going traveling alone. And this lady looks around, and there was one more person sitting downstairs. Did not feel comfortable, and he looks at me and hands me the child. And while handing that child to me, he said, "Dadaji, मेरे बच्चे को संभाल के रखना. I'll take care, but don't call me that." That was but more terrible than being called as uncle. This body is Shadvikaravat Deha. Deha goes through Shadvikara. What are the Vikara? Asti, Jayate, Vardhate, Viparinamate, Apakshiyate, Vinashyati iti. Shadvikaravat Deha. Asti, conceived. Jayate, delivered, born. And right since that day, exponential growth. Every 2 months once, the clothes have to be changed. Isn't it? So fast that they grow. And you have not seen that child for what, 5 months or 4 months? You come back, Grown tall, grown wide, grown. Suddenly grown that big. Vardhate. Viparinamate. Then there is that final change. See, growing, they're still kids. But there is that day when the boy becomes a man, the girl becomes a woman, the change comes. Viparinamate. Probably they're talking about some hormonal change that happens somewhere around that teenage growth spurt time. Viparinamate. And from there on, there is no more growing, no more building, no more. It is kshaya. One by one, all the capacities start going away. That reminds me, I had to wear my glasses. I had to remember to wear them. One by one, all the capacities start dwindling away. There's a time wherein a mountain of food, and it just vanishes. And when I talk to the parents of these teenagers, where they have 2 or 3 kids, and they say for every 2 days once, or 3 days once, a gallon of milk is finished. Every 2 days once. So they get 2 gallons of milk, one for yogurt, one for milk, and both are finished, and again, constant. And when you look at them, they look like a agarbatti. Yesterday we were having a lot of chicks and we were having bhiksha. And there are these who have reached about 28, 29, 30. So they had 2 or max 2.5 rotis. By the time I am full. And there are these younger ones who have just gotten into college. 6 chapatis, 7 chapatis, 9 chapatis. And this guy came for the first time to attend our chick group. And he's like jaw dropped looking, man, where does that all go? The metabolism is so high. The first thing that gets hit is the metabolic rate slows down. Those who could devour mountains of food now come to a limit. Bas. Then the hair starts changing color. The first disappointment of the entire life. First strand of gray hair. And invariably what everybody does, isolate that, take you out from it, root cause, and pull it out. By 2 or 3 weeks time, right at that spot where you had pulled, there are now 4. Within a fortnight, there is like a trend of, I said, not acceptable. So bring loads of, what do you call that? The dye. Color it up. And some vacation or somewhere that you have gone that is not accessible, within a year or 2. And you have been away for 2 months and suddenly you see yourself in the mirror. I thought it was just here and there. It is all over now. No way I'm going like this. How many times we go for these yatras? And when you're in the Himalayan ranges, there is no scope for you getting it anywhere. And you can only carry so much. As soon as they hit civilization, I'm not even talking a big city. As soon as they hit civilization, the first thing is dye. Where is dye? Where is dye? It's as if like a hungry man searching for food. And like, where did you go? Because they all asked, Swamiji, we need time off. No temple, no, trekking and nothing. We need 3 hours. And the result of 3 hours is quite visible. Still teasingly asked, where did you go? We had some stuff to do. What? रहने भी दो ना स्वामी जी. It's quite visible there, evident. Suddenly there is dark, काले घने लंबे गुंगराले बाल. Everything starts kshina. And the white hair is for those blessed ones who still have hair. Apakshiyate vinashyati. Finally comes a day when it gives up. Done. Finito. See, when we are in that youthful stage, we heed to nothing. As if the earlier generation has been primitive people, they know nothing, we never heed to any instruction. Suddenly the seeker has realized, Bhagwan, I have heard enough of scriptures to say that having this human birth is rarest of the opportunities. I am blessed to have this opportunity. I don't know whether I deserve being a human being or not, but I am blessed enough. Knowing and being what I have done in the past, I don't know if I am qualified for another chance. And now that I have realized that this opportunity is so rare and so precious, I want to dedicate every moment available only for this. And time seems to slip like sand from a fist. And my body is aging rapidly. Jaritre. Therefore, hey Rudra, mrida iti. Mrida, give us that mrida, that happiness which is nothing short of Atmanishtha, Atma Sakshatkara. That is the only purpose for which this human birth can be justified. May I have that opportunity to become one with that self within. You have scores of these devas in your Sena. Enough of distracting us away from the path, testing us for the path. Protect us on the path. I truly, sincerely see the necessity and urgency to be on this path. Bless me so that nothing happens in my life so that I get deviated from this. Again, as Lord Ganesha is invoked, he is Vigna Karta as well as Vigna Harta. Depending on how deep we are embedded. See, if the pole is just lying there in the ground, standing up there without any anchor, you can just pull it out, done. But if the pole has been put there with a lot of rocks, make sure that it doesn't move, and then poured tons of cement, that it is unshakable, and it is about 4 or 5 feet deep. Now, if our attachments are that deep, a simple mere instruction may not help. So what does Bhagavan have to do? Shake the entire system up. Whatever be it, may these devas become our source to get out of these attachments and focus on that murder, on that prime thing for which human life is meant for. That is the purpose of life. I understand it today. Therefore, I am talking to my mind. Enough of going out. Stop. You have been there. You have seen it. That which you are anticipating, that which you are hoping to get from there is not there. Logically, I have realized that which we are searching is inside. What you are trying to search and what I am trying to search is the same thing. Can you please turn around? Enough of running around. We think that by the time we retire, we'll have time to do all this. Retire meaning you are so tired that you don't have any more capacity to tire again. Retire. My definition. At that age, I have seen many. Oh, I have a bucket list. I have lived my life for my parents. I have lived my life for my kids. Now this is the time for me. I have this bucket list. And do what? At 65, bungee jumping, paragliding. I have this top 15 places that I have to visit by the time I die. I have to eat this, I have to enjoy this. Before we realize life is flying. Oh Lord, I have seen it enough. Like in the Upanishad, they say, Pariksha lokan karmachitan nirveda brahmanaha. That astute seeker, brahmanaha, Pariksha lokan, he has experimented with all possible things that could be seen and come to that conclusion, nirveda. Nirveda has come to a firm understanding, Veda understanding. Nirveda, nischayena, come to that firm understanding. That which I am seeking, however, be in this, I've tried it in all kinds of permutations and combinations. There is nothing more to check, nothing more to pursue. Once we come to that conclusion intellectually, been there, done that, there is nothing more attractive there. I thought it was a beautiful, it was a great, it was an amazing, but it has nothing to offer that which I am seeking. Not even solace, not even direction. Therefore, having given that up, meaning intellectually gotten that clarity that there is no more distractions out there. It happens in life, right? You, while growing up, may have played with Barbie or these cars or these toys, so much so that you have not shared it with anyone. My constantly. After a certain while, you become a teenager and now the hormones are racing, and then are you still holding on to your Barbie? Barbie kitchen, Barbie this, Barbie that. Now if somebody brings a Barbie toothbrush, I need something different. Even if it is lying around, there is no distraction. While you are holding on to it, if somebody snatches it away, creates immense misery. There was a period when in about 4 streets full of kids, I had maximum number of marbles that I had won. Like, you play those marbles. Have you? There was this oil tin, palmolive tin, dabbas, yellow color, about 8 or 9 dabbas full. And some Dashara Diwali, somebody gave money, and I had invested in 10 marbles. And from the 10 marbles, I had toiled in earning 9 dabbas full of marbles. So possessive was that almost every other day, sitting with that treasure around me, I would literally count through, grade them. Those which have cracks, those which have chipped off, those which are in pristine condition, those which are of this size, those which are of that size. How many inventory every second day? I must have been in my 7th or 8th grade. One day, I was coming back from all these sports and games outside, and as I was coming, I saw vaguely in the corner of my eye my dad at the well, and there's some splashing sound coming repetitively. I go inside, look at the space, it is khali. I come back, ask my mom, and she says, "Go talk to your dad." I go to my dad, he is holding the last dabba. He looks at me with a smile, drops it. Next 3 days, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, complete retaliation. Not fair. All that you could rightfully take away from me is those 10 marbles that I purchased. Rest of them, I have earned it. Marbles. Right? At that age, anything snatched away. Now, having grown out of that age, even if you get a bag full of it, do you get distracted? Sometimes I feel it funny because in this country I've seen 26, 27-year-olds still carrying what do you call those, teddy bear, sleeping partner. Wherever I go, I carry it. Something wrong upstairs. When you outgrow them, they're still there. Their presence or absence does not disturb, because nirveda, I've already seen through. That is not what gives us joy, happiness, satisfaction, peace, nothing. Trinaprayavat, like as if it was dead grass. It means nothing. Can it create any distraction? Pariksha Lokan, having tested it with that wisdom and clarity and dispassion towards that which I have already tasted, it has got nothing to taste. Therefore, now I have come to the Guru. O Guru, show me the path. Nothing more interests me. Like in Prashna Upanishad, the Guru says to the Sishyas, 6 Sishyas. And how are these Sishyas? They have had experience with running Gurukulas. There are those 1 or 2 questions which still nag, and they come with that very intense questions. To them, the Guru says, Pippalada Maharshi, he says, you know what, do one thing. Stay here and follow Brahmacharya and offer your services in taking care of various aspects of this ashram for next 2 years. After 2 years, if you still have the doubt, you can ask the question. And if I know, I will answer. If you and I were sitting there We'll go through a systematic analysis. Intelligent that we are. A systematic analysis, 2 years of investment. At least if you could confirm that I know the answer, I'll tell you after 2 years, I can still invest those 2 years. What if I stay here 2 years and I ask my question? He has not even asked me, he has not even allowed me to say my question. The first thing that he said, good that you have come. Now do this and observe it. Then after 2 years, we'll take care. All these six immediately prostrate to Pippalada Maharshi and says, we will come back once you call us after 2 years. And they immediately go into the ashram and blend in as the rest of them and offer their services, follow the discipline and brahmacharya. Because the student has to understand the teacher, and the teacher has to understand the student, and that rapport has to be created, and then understand where they are coming from, not the status in life, where that question is coming from, and then cater to them. Having seen. So thus this student who has seen through, therefore he has seen the various rise and tides of the mind, and he seemed to have pulled himself out that he can now instruct that mind. And he is also seeing at the naked truth that this body, which was meant for Atma Sakshatkara, is getting fast to that Jirnatva, is getting to the old age. Before I get there, oh Lord, give me the strength to understand and revel in that sukha of Atmanishtha. A very powerful, beautiful mantra. We'll continue tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanta Shanta Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.